I've put my skin through just about every advanced treatment you can name. Lasers, radiofrequency, microcurrent, HIFU, EMS. If it plugs in or it lights up, chances are I've probably tried it. And 5 years in of testing, trialing, and perfecting my anti-aging skincare routine, my 43-year-old face is living proof that results matter way more than hype does. But here's the twist. With all of these high-powered tools at my disposal, the question I get asked most is, does at-home microneedling still matter, or is it obsolete when you're already using the heavy hitters? Spoiler alert, it abso-freaking-lutely matters, especially if you want real visible results. So today I'm cutting through the noise. I'll show you exactly how I use microneedling now, what's changed since my last deep dive, and what both the research and my own results say about its real-world value for mature, textured, or simply well-lived-in skin. If you followed my journey over the last few years, then you know that my approach is layered. Fractional radiofrequency for tightening and deeper collagen production, lasers for pigmentation and overall skin quality, microcurrent for tone, HIFU for contouring and lifting, science-backed topicals for that extra polishing, and yes, microneedling for that mechanical collagen induction that literally no other modality really matches. Now, I'm not here to sell microneedling as a miracle or a replacement for these energy-based devices, because each device and modality, well, it serves a purpose unique to the next. Yep, there's no way I'm giving up my lasers, my radiofrequency devices, and my electroporation, and I don't need to. They are all companions in one way or another. Basically, it's all about understanding frequency and modality layering and how each works within the skin. However, I do see microneedling as a super important bridge, especially for maintaining those results between more intensive treatments or when you want to keep the collagen synthesis ticking along without downtime and without breaking the bank. And let's be real here. It's literally one of the most effective ways to stimulate collagen and elastin at home for like 99.9% of people. Okay, so let's get technical for a second. Even if you're already using energy-based devices like I do, there's a reason to keep microneedling in the mix. And I'm the voice of experience with this one. Microneedling works by triggering controlled micro-injuries in the skin, which kickstarts a wound healing cascade known as collagen induction therapy. Here's what happens after a microneedling session with a tool like the Banisher 3.0. Essentially, when you are using micro stamping tools like this, what happens is that platelet derived growth factors are released, fibroblasts migrate in, and new type 1 and type 3 collagen and elastin are synthesized. Now, over the following weeks and months, this new matrix reorganizes, translating to improved dermal density, resulting in a subtle but so real smoothing of fine lines and texture. Now, multiple studies show measurable increases in both collagen and elastin after serial microneedling, which is one of the reasons why it's such a mainstay in the world of aesthetics and beauty and in my own routine. But not only that, 0.5mm needles are the sweet spot for at-home use. They're deep enough to stimulate collagen, but shallow enough to minimize risk and downtime. And at 0.5mm, well, this is the depth that some of the home use lasers that I use, like the Nira Pro Plus reach, which are known for their collagen boosting and wrinkle reducing abilities. See, a lot of people, myself once included many years ago, believe that for microneedling to work, you gotta bleed. Literally hacking away at your skull bones like a lunatic on a mission with the belief of no pain, no gain. I'm gonna let you in on a secret. It's rubbish. You don't gotta bleed. You really don't. Basically, those tiny needles work hard to retexturize, revolumize, and recollagenize the skin in the collagen dense layers of the dermis, which are literally just a millimeter or two from the surface. And, in my own experience, is one of the only at-home modalities that genuinely thickens the skin over time. Especially in those areas where lasers or radiofrequency aren't practical or where you want to minimize the risk of post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, my go-to manual microneedling tool for anti-aging and complexion improvements used to be the generic Dermapen. But here's the thing, I find it so hard not to overwork my skin with it, and there's been more than one occasion where it's left my skin looking almost wax-like. which, trust me, is not the look that I'm going for. Now, a few months back, I switched over to the Banisher 3.0 from Banish, mainly because it looked like a high quality and safe alternative to pens and derma rollers. Now, I usually grab the full kit as it comes with 2 of the 0.5mm heads, which are in the box. You get the Banisher tool itself. This is what the heads attach onto. Et voila. Plus, you've got the ability to choose optional 0.25mm and 1mm heads for different areas. Now, 1mm is the deepest that I go when I'm microneedling at home. There are very, very, very few situations where you ever need to go deeper than 1mm when looking at taking care of fine lines and wrinkles, of enlarged pores, of acne, scarring, of pock marks. Literally, 1mm is pretty much the ceiling that you're going to ever need to go. 2mm in professional settings obviously is a treatment that can be performed. Now, this is normally performed on very deep set wrinkles or intense and excessive scarring from acne. Now, obviously, I've got this with the kit, but there's more. It also comes with the Banish Vitamin C Serum, which contains L-ascorbic acid, vitamin E, ferulic acid, and glycerin, as well as aloe, alpha-arbutin, and licorice extract. And this is formulated to brighten, support collagen, and hydrate. And let's be honest here, who doesn't want to be flooded with hydration? Then I also get the vitamin C cream, which is a brightening moisturizer. I've got the pumpkin enzyme mask, which contains glycolic acid, vitamin C, and fruit enzymes for gentle exfoliation and antioxidant support. And then, of course, no home microneedling kit from Banish would be complete without the Banish Fighter Gel. Now, this is cooling, it's anti-inflammatory, and my sensitive, rosacea-prone skin absolutely loves this. And that's not all. You also get a $30 gift card for any future restocks. Better still, everything is vegan, it's cruelty-free, and with no artificial fragrance or dyes. So it's perfect for those of us with sensitive skin that literally reacts to every unwanted additive or fragrance in skincare. And the fact that it pairs so well with my regular science-backed skincare from Calasim, enhancing its efficacy and absorption of the professional serum, just makes this all the more sweeter for me. Okay, so if you've used other microneedling devices like classic derma rollers or electric pens, then you'll notice that the Banisher 3.0 is a different experience altogether. Instead of rolling needles across the skin, the Banisher uses a stamping motion with ultra thin gold-plated titanium bristles. Now, this straight down approach means less risk of micro tearing or of track marks, which really can happen with derma rollers, especially if you're not perfectly precise. And the gold plating is not just a gimmick, it's antimicrobial, which of course adds a layer of safety for at-home use. You're also going to find it highly unlikely to overtreat or accidentally go too deep, which is something that really can happen with pens if you're not careful. Now, the replaceable heads on these really are just a cherry on the top, because essentially what they're letting you do is have a fresh, sharp set of bristles every few sessions. So you're literally not dragging a dull tool at trauma-inducing angles across your face, which, like I said, is a common issue with rollers after a handful of uses. For me, this is the tool that I reach for when I want controlled collagen induction without the risk or the hassle. So here's how I actually use my Banisher 3.0 in my routine. Alright, first things first, you want to cleanse thoroughly. Now, while the Banisher head soaks in a 70% isopropyl alcohol for 5 minutes, I double cleanse and then I dry my face. For the double cleanse, I keep to my usual routine of a first cleanse with the Aquamarine Melt Hydrating Gel Balm Cleanser from Sunday Riley. As someone who is completely obsessed with applying SPF throughout the day, as well as the occasional layer of tinted CC cream, this cleanser is absolutely amazing for making sure that every scrap of that SPF, whether it's oil-based, mineral-based, whatever, any makeup you're wearing, any oil, this eats through it and it takes it off in one fell swoop. I go in for a second cleanse with my foam facial cleanser. This is loaded with olive oil, it's loaded with tea tree, it's got thyme honey and mastic extract, and it leaves my skin squeaky clean, which is a must for the best results. So now I'm going to show you how I do a treatment with this device, just so you get a really good idea of exactly what I'm doing with this tool, and if you're after the kind of results that I personally experience myself, then this is what I do. So my skin is already nice and clean and prepped. Now, obviously you don't need any slip or glide because you're not slipping or gliding this across your face. You are doing a straight up and down entry and exit. But I'm going to apply some of my Calasim Professional Serum for this. And this I use every single day, but when I'm doing a microneedling session, I really love that it kind of boosts the efficacy and the results that you get with this. Complete game changer for mature skin. And then step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then move across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, one of my big battle zones, which are the fine lines, the crow's feet appearing at the corners of the eyes. I'm a smiley, happy person. A few drops around the eyes. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to take my finger here, elevate under the brow, and just stamp slightly. On the mid and upper cheek, just working from the nose out towards the ear. Now, I'm not a smoker, I don't use a straw very often, so I'm kind of lucky that I don't have much in the way of lip lines, but I use this preventative measures. That treatment is done, I will use this head here approximately like 5 times before I need to replace it. So I'm going to go and soak this in 70% isopropyl alcohol, and then it will be ready for me to use next time. Alright, let's talk about actual outcomes, both what I've personally experienced and what the research consistently shows. So after just 2 or 3 microneedling sessions, I started to notice a subtle but very definite softening of the fine lines, especially in those notoriously stubborn areas around the eyes and the mouth. If you stick with it, by the 8 to 12 week mark, the improvements become so much more pronounced. My skin literally feels denser, less of that thin papery quality that tends to creep in with age. There's a noticeable increase in bounce and resilience, which is a direct result of new collagen and elastin being laid down in the dermis. And this isn't just my anecdotal experience. Since I've introduced the Banisher and the topical products from Banish as part of my routine, I've genuinely seen a real smoothing effect, especially along the cheeks and the jawline area, which not just for me but for many people out there can be pretty challenging to address with energy-based devices. As for side effects, well, they're pretty minimal when you use the right technique and needle length. You can expect some mild redness and maybe a little bit of swelling immediately after, but in my experience, it's usually gone by the next morning. I haven't personally experienced any post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation or lingering sensitivity, which is a huge plus compared to some of the more aggressive modalities out there. So, where does at-home microneedling actually fit in with a tool like the Banisher 3.0 when you're already using a full suite of professional devices? Well, for me, it's the ultimate everyday person skincare maintenance tool. I use microneedling in the weeks between radiofrequency or laser sessions, especially when I want to continue stimulating collagen without committing to downtime or risking over treatment. Essentially, it's a way to keep the skin's remodeling process active, so I'm not just relying on a couple of big interventions each year. Microneedling is also uniquely suited for targeting smaller, high movement areas that need that extra attention. Think of those areas around the mouth, the eyes, and along the jawline. These are zones where lasers and radiofrequency can be less precise or carry more risk, but microneedling allows for targeted controlled collagen induction therapy. It bridges the gap between those intensive treatments, helps maintain and even enhance your results, and it ensures that you're not plateauing in your progress, which when you're on an anti-aging skincare protocol like I am, it's kind of a biggie. In my experience, it's a steady incremental approach that delivers the most sustainable long-term improvements in skin quality, which I'm pretty sure we can all agree on is what we're all looking for. For me, tools like the Banisher 3.0 aren't a replacement for in-office treatments like fractional radiofrequency or deep peels, and nor does it claim to be, but it is a cost-effective evidence-based way to keep collagen production active between those bigger interventions, or as a way to kickstart your own anti-aging skincare journey. I literally love the simplicity of manual micro stamping, the control that it gives me to be hyper precise in those sensitive areas, and more than anything, I love how it goes hand in hand with my devices from Medicube, from Nebulift, from Nira, Dermrays, Newer, all of those, to create long-lasting results that get me compliments on my complexion as I enter my midlife glow up. And yeah, I think we've covered everything, so that's about it. If you want to get your hands on the Banisher 3.0 or any of the Banish serums or creams, I'm going to hook you guys up. You're going to find it pinned in the top comment and also in the description box. But thank you so much for joining me for this video today and for sticking with me up until this point. If you are still here with me, you're my new BFF. But I hope your day is as amazing as you are, and I really look forward to seeing you in my next video. So I guess until then, TJ over and out.